I appreciate it.
Like I got to wear Iron Maiden.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We are officially live in the flesh, folks. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, John R? How's everything?
Good, man. How about you, dude?
I've been better. I cut myself shaving, and it's been a little bit now. So hopefully, I'm not gonna, all of a sudden when we talk and be like, "Oh, that's really interesting, John," and then it was just more. So every now and again, you might see me do this. So sorry for the gore, guys.
Yeah, all good, man. No, when you reached out to me to do this, man, it really meant a lot. So I appreciate this. This is super cool.
Of course, yeah. I'm thankful you giving me your time today, especially on a Saturday, and the weather's starting to get nice, and people are starting to go in the pools and stuff. Come on, man. You don't want to spend time with me.
It's like the perfect day here outside right now, but it's all good.
Hell yeah. Before we get into everything, because I got a lot of interesting stuff to bring up with you, it's been a long time coming. I want to say what's going on to everybody. So we got Philmo in earlier. He said, "Oh man, he had plans today, but bring on the live. Let's go, baby." Joe Barreto, John R, your very own, also came in the chat earlier. Matt Clausen, what's going on? We got Michael Wong, and then Juan. Sorry. Dong Kim, yeah, older story. That's the only thing it's on my brain. Woodsy, Kate, what's poppin'? AA Ron, and Oakland, son. What's going on? And Woodsy says, "Happy Armed Forces Month and Mental Health Awareness Month." I actually was not aware of that. Good to know for sure. And Kiki, what's going on? Our girl Key. I'm here for the Delta stuff. So, oh nice. Wait a second. Right off the bat.
Oh.
Hola mi mijo. Is that actually how you write me?
Yeah.
I thought it was just mijo, but mi hijo.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, that's right.
I've been trying to practice, but
between Joe and Cesar, man, we're getting a Spanish up, Appreciate you, Joe. Thank you so much coming in so hot, so fast. I know I'm sorry to steal your son from you today, Joe. I'm so sorry. I have him for the afternoon, so but thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
It's all right, Papa.
That's right. Staten Island Oprah with a shaving nick. Yeah. It's someone in the crowd did it.
It happens, us guys. It happens to us, man.
Joe must have hit the slot. Okay, so thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So, I wanted to bring up something funny right from the start. So wait a second. Hold on. Let me stop the show. We got truth searchers, paranormal investigators. We got Gabe Matthews in the house. You guys know and love him, the paranormal investigator, who also downloads a credit card.
What up, Gabe? Hell yeah, man. Iron Maiden for life.
Right. And Woodsy. Son, you do this every time, man. What the hell? I can't be outdone here. I guess.
Nice.
Come on now. I won't be on long, but have a good stream, brother. Appreciate you, Woodsy, man. When are you gonna start doing some stuff so I can hit you back with the 20 spots, or maybe I'll see you at some point again, or come up. We gotta get you another extra wallet, right? Didn't you break it or something? So thank you, Woodsy, man. I appreciate you very much for always hitting hot out of the gate. Thank you so much, man. Damn, what the hell? You're crazy.
Be sure to hit like and subscribe, everybody.
Freaking Woodsy busting out the money from his new extra wallet. Exactly right. Right. Thank you, Woodsy. Yeah, Joe. Run to the hills, MR says. All right, so it's too much. You guys really.
This is the trooper here, though. I'm wearing the trooper today.
Right. Oh God. Thank you guys. All right. So a long time ago, it might have been 9 months ago now, maybe 10 months ago. I should have looked at it, but there was a time where me and Calvi NG, you guys know and love him, we did a live stream from the Regency in Lexington, the Hyatt Regency in Lexington, Kentucky. And it was an 8-hour long straight. I think it was like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that. It was like a full work day. And me and him streamed the entire time. It was a whole experience. We eventually had time. We even ate food during the live. We had robes on. We had a Jeopardy match with like a bunch of other huge creators. It was a great time. And there was one person that stayed the entire time and I guess enjoyed, hopefully, but at least was there along the way, the man in front of me, John R. So I just wanted to say, from on behalf of everybody, you have been around probably more than longer and more often than anybody else, and it's a testament to just your character, and also I think all of the things that you've, because I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you haven't been in the credit card game super long, but you've accumulated like an insane amount of knowledge in this short amount of time, probably from watching a bunch of other folks, in this game. So thank you, sir, for staying that 8 hours. How was that 8 hours, by the way?
So, Filmo, I've been dubbed the Prince of Iceland, I guess.
Prince of Iceland.
I mean, we have the Staten Island Opera, so I guess I might as well be the Prince of Iceland. So,
yes.
It's all good. So, I mean, yeah, I remember that day. I mean, it was work day, so I mean, I was listening as I was working, right? So I had you on in the background. I was commenting here and there, but I was just listening to you guys talk as I was working. So. But yeah, I usually have that. I mean, in my job, in my role that I'm in, I basically read all day. I mean, in my role, I've been in IT for about 10 years now, and I started off in help desk at a bank in 2013. And then during the pandemic, in September of 20, I transitioned into a cybersecurity role with the same company. So I've been in the cybersecurity role the whole time. And in the last year or so, I transitioned into a very specific role where it's basically I look at and read threat intelligence reports all day. So it was really easy to read and look at stuff while just listening to you guys talk in the background. So I usually will have something on in the background. So it might be someone's stream, it might be Chad going live in the middle of the day, or it might be, or a lot of times. Because I go to bed pretty early because I usually will get up early in the morning and either go to the gym or I'm usually logged into work. One of the two things. And so I'm like listening to people's podcasts or listening to their videos throughout the day. I may not be watching it, but I might watch Matt might have released something at freaking 1 a.m. or something, and I would have missed it. So I'll listen to it in the morning while I'm reading and stuff. So so it's pretty easy to get caught up on everybody's content. So it's my pleasure, dude. It's my pleasure to I try to support everybody I can because like you said, I mean, I'm still a baby in this game. I mean, I've only been, I know it's kind of team travel or team cashback, and I guess before I really started getting interested in travel, I was the cashback guy. The first several cards I got were cashback, all of them. And so I really didn't start thinking about the travel game until the holidays of 2022. And then right after, right during the holidays, right at the beginning of 23 is when I started just researching, going into YouTube and typing in credit card reviews, and then there goes the journey. The rabbit hole begins.
Right.
And so I started finding everyone's content, and just reading and researching, and just going down the rabbit hole. I would say I definitely know more than I do, but I still figure I'm still a baby in this game. There's so many things I've not done yet that I've heard people talk about that I want to do, that I want to actually experience and do it myself. I just did my first point redemption, and I talked about it in a video a few weeks ago about my return to Iceland and how I redeemed those points. That was my first point redemption. Yeah. So I'm still learning all these things, and thanks to guys like you and Matt and Chad and Uncle Luke and Stan. I mean, everybody that produces content. You learn something. I learn something new every time I watch someone's video, and so. It's like I want to be like you guys when I grow
up. Well, John, we want to be like you. Okay, we seem like you have a great thing going on. I know you've had some. You've told us in the Discord and stuff like that. You had a lot of amazing things happen, and really just the last couple of years. I mean, you started that. You have more of that specific role. You've been on your kind of weight loss journey, and you lost how much?
Lost about 100. Got about 120 pounds now. So
wow.
Yes. So I was, yeah. So yeah, I got really bad. I got really unhealthy and had been for years. I mean, COVID sort of exacerbated it a little bit, but I was on that path way before that. And it was completely self-inflicted, like being lazy, the furthest I had walked in my life in the last decade was from my kitchen to my gaming room, like just stupidity, just being dumb with my health and eating really bad. And it came to a head in Memorial Day of 22. And, I'd reached that point where I had enough. Like I was done being unhealthy. I was like, okay, things are changing now. And so I went to the local community center, which is just a couple miles down the street here from me, in my suburb here in Kansas City, and took a tour of the facility and met with a personal trainer and said, okay, let's do it. And so, so over the last almost 2 years now, down to 120 pounds now. So
that is insane. I thought it was around 80, but 120. Wow. That is.
It might have been 80 when I first joined the Discord, maybe. Or when I first kind of got into the game, it might have been about 80 pounds then. So
I love it. Yeah, you're always just like, hey, just got back from the gym, or I'm going to the gym, constantly. That's amazing.
I mean, it's been an awesome journey, man. It's been, and I know you and I talk about, working out, in the Discord, personal messages and all that. But like, it's been a game changer, man. It's been, my movement's so much better. I'm definitely stronger. I definitely have more energy. I definitely, like, it's been game changing. Like, I feel amazing. And of course, a lot of it is also contributed to drinking a gallon of this a day. So, yeah, man. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and that makes traveling even better, right? Because I couldn't even imagine myself at my worst point when I joined the gym, when I was at the peak of crappy. Like, I could not even imagine trying to travel at all. And so this, being on this journey and losing so much weight has definitely facilitated that desire even more, to like, hey, I want to live life more now. So
yeah, it would be more expensive too, because you'd have to do what Luke does and buy 2 economy tickets, right? You have to, 2 seats next to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Is there what's your goal? Like, if you're down 120 now, do you have a goal for like 180 to like
so
how far you think you want to go?
So when I started, I was basically 400 pounds. I'm right about 280 right now.
Wow.
But I've got about 60 more I want to lose yet. So
yeah,
and then see where I'm at. And then I want to see where I'm at then and talk to my doctor and everything and see what he thinks and, go from there. But about 60 more.
Wow. So like, and you're around 6 foot, right?
Yeah, 6 foot.
So
I'm handsome, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so 220 and 6 foot, that's a stud. That's powerful, especially working out all along that way. Jeez. Yeah, you'll be revealing a lot of power for sure.
I tell you what, man, I don't know how you feel, but when I, like, some days you don't want to go to the gym, right? You're like, man, I want to go, But I tell you what, man, when I'm done, like, I'm energized. Like, I feel amazing. Like, I walk out of there and I'm like, I got energy flowing through me and I can feel the endorphins. And I'm like, you're tired. I don't know if this makes sense or not, but you're tired, but you're not. It's like you're energized. I mean, I feel amazing every time I'm done. So.
Absolutely. And actually, I wanted to mention Xavier said, "Great job, John, with the 2
thanks,
spot."
Man. Appreciate Xavier too. Oh, right. Yeah, Richie, man. Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Let's go, John.
Thank you, Papa.
John is authentic, but much appreciated, Xavier, for that as well, and Joe and Lindsay for the super chats. Thank you. Sure. I think it's one of those things. It's weird when you get into the world of working out, because it's like, at first everyone tells you it's a chore, and they say like, oh, I can't believe I have to go do it. But once you see all the effects of, and it seems like common knowledge, but because I've been in the game for like 12 years now into working out, pretty consistently over that time. But consistently, if there was like a stretch of 3-4 days where I just don't go, I mean, instantly my mood is down. Yeah,
Yep.
less energy, a
Yep.
little more like testy, I guess.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just don't have as
Yeah.
much vitality as when I'm beating myself up in the gym, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely affects my mental health to some degree because like if I don't go, just sometimes, especially like in winter is a little bit of a struggle. Like especially living here in Kansas City, where it's we get winter, so
Yeah.
it's some days you don't go 3 and 4 days in a row. Then I start, yeah, you're right. You start getting pissy and you're like in a bad mood and all that, and you're like, nope, John, get your ass to the gym because you'll feel better once you're there, once you're done, and yep, sure enough,
Yeah.
you walk out there, you're like, okay, I'm good now. Sorry, everybody, that was in my path for the last few days.
Right. That's right. Everybody on, it's like work from home, everybody online just getting
Yep.
attacking people. Philmo said, you got to be strong to rule an island nation.
True. Oh, I'm taking my kid later. Sorry about that. Yep.
Oakland, maybe like John's getting down to his playing weight. Yeah, we're gonna have you. What do you call it? Front tackle or something in football? I don't even know. We'll get you on the line.
I'd be a good lineman. Yeah.
Getting down to it. Well, getting down to the fighting weight.
I could protect Patrick.
There you go. Brian also said, I lost 100 in the last 4 months. I'm just doing keto and never realizing how much water we retained. Absolutely. Yep. Oh yeah. So what's your diet looking like during this whole period?
So it's not really keto. It's so I kind of eat sort of what I want, but it's all about like portions, right? Because my physician told me a long time. I've been seeing the same doctor for like 10 years now, and he told me something that I didn't think about. And he said I don't want you denying yourself anything. He says it's all about portions. It's all about, says if you want a couple of Doritos, have them. Just don't eat the whole freaking bag in one setting. It's okay to have the things that you desire. You just have to be smart about it. And so I will say though, I don't keep soda in the house at all. I don't drink soda at all anymore. I don't keep candy in the house. I don't keep sweets in the house. So all that stuff's out. But for the most part, I mean, I do tend to try to stay away from, like, I don't have ice cream in the house. I don't have cookies in it. Like, I don't do any of that. I mean, but like, I try to be sensible about what I eat. Like, especially for lunch, I'll usually have like, a turkey sandwich or something like that, and then in the evenings, I'm normally having, is that a cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freaking cat wants food. You're supposed to be on a diet too. I'm kidding.
But like at night, I'll have like a steak or a chicken or a piece of chicken or whatever, bake it or grill it or whatever, and then I'll have like vegetables. I have a lot of steamed vegetables, a lot of salad. And of course, everybody, I want to snack on something, so it's instead of grabbing the bag of Doritos or the bag of Cheetos or whatever, it's like I will have. I'll have like raw nuts. I'll grab one of these, or I'll have a little thing of yogurt or something as a snack. And it's usually like during the work day, right? Like in the mid morning, I'll want something, so I'll grab a bag of these, or afternoon, I'll grab a yogurt or something. So it's like eating smartly and drinking a ton of water, and making sure I'm trying to move every day. If I don't exercise if I don't go work out, at least get my steps in, quote unquote. Go to I have 2 parks close to me, so walk down to one of the parks, walk around a little bit and just fresh air, that kind of thing. And so I don't deny myself anything, but if I do eat something that I know is bad for me, I will stretch it out.
Definitely. And actually, I'll mention something on that note, but I have to acknowledge Mr. Xavier. 10 spot. I need to be more like you, John. Crying, laughing, changing.
I'm by far from perfect, brother. I appreciate that, though.
You're the idol we all need, John. You're the one ruling the island nation, man. But thank you, Xavier. Man, guy going crazy today. Yes.
Staten Island cat.
Thank you so much, Xavier. I appreciate you, man. What happened?
Staten Island cat.
No, it's a freaking South Carolina cat, and they're freaking annoying. The Staten Island cats don't talk because they get beat up if they do. But thank you, Xavier. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you guys all for all of that, man. It means a lot. Front tackle, yeah, it's not a sport. So,
thanks, Lonnie.
oh,
Thank you,
Lonnie,
Lonnie.
you're the best. What's going on, Lonnie? On that topic, so I think it's such a powerful thing, like you said, and I think a lot of people overlook it. Like they think it's not a big thing, but it's so huge that what you mentioned was I don't keep, desserts and stuff in the house. Like I don't have ice cream, I don't have these chips, I don't have these snacks. A couple things maybe here and there, but the things that you know that you would have if it were at your disposal, you will definitely have. So you might as well just remove any type of even possibility. More barriers you have to those certain things, the better you're off. Like I have to drive to Target 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drive to 10 minutes just for. I'll just go to sleep. Something like that. I think it's so like that is one component to just I think the entirety of weight loss. Because I've been through a lot of fluctuations as well. I was as low as like 125 in high school, and within 10 months, 12 months, I was at 205. Kind of on purpose, and just that was the kind of dieting I was doing at that time. But during that process, I learned what was possible and how actually to fluctuate your weight if you put your mind to it. So I think it's powerful thing, just not keeping anything around for sure.
Yeah, it's sometimes I will buy something. I mean, a bag of chips, like something. Okay, but I know that I have the discipline to like. Okay, I'm going to have this because I want it, but it's going to last me a week. Instead of 15 minutes. Like old John. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I used to do that with my turkey burgers and some chicken and rice. I'd be like, okay, this is my one box. It's $12. It should last me like 5 days. So if it's under that, I'm upset. I'm like, that's wrong. How did I do that? It has to last 5 days. So this is how much each day.
And it's all about portions, right? And I read a lot of research too, where even if you were a person, say you and I didn't work out at all, we just, we were lazy and whatever. Research has shown though that if you take in less calories than you're burning, you're going to lose weight. Mm-hmm. So, or if you're burning more calories than you're taking in, so I got that backwards. So then you're going to lose weight eventually, even if you're sedentary, So, I mean, exercise and stuff like that, working out helps because you definitely need to keep your body strong and everything. But even if you just took in, if you burn more calories than you take in, you will lose weight.
For sure. Yeah. I think the biggest issue with folks who are, in that excess of weight, maybe over 400, something like that, is I guess you have two parts. Like one is the psychology of it. Like the hunger that, your ghrelin, your hunger hormone is so strong that you don't have quote unquote self-control at that. Like people be like, oh, just eat less. Like, sure, yes, you will lose weight if you eat less, but that overcomes your psychology beyond anything, just because I've talked to a lot of people, so I kind of get the feeling of what that would be like. So it's like the psychological damage that depriving yourself of food at that weight is like unlike what people would even realize just being at normal, less weight, like 200, something like that.
Then you realize too that it's like, are you really hungry or are you bored? Because for me, especially during COVID, it was because of being bored out of my head. It's like, okay, well, I can only play so many games. I can only do so many things, and it was like, it was keeping yourself busy, right? Your hands moving, you're eating. And at least for me, I'm sure I can't make a blanket statement for everybody, but I think that was what it was for me. It was like that, just that something to do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. I think it's like smoking for people too. Like, I relate smoking to going out of the workplace and having like a second, of being away from the work environment. So like putting those two things together is addicting. It's like, I get the relief and I get the nicotine, high for a moment. Actually, Richie says every day I say I won't snack before bed, and every night I understand the disappointment parents always had in me. God damn it, Richie. Oh my God.
Xavier.
Yeah, he may not be the hero we need, but he's the hero we deserve. Absolutely. So shifting a little bit, I wanted to ask you. So you mentioned that losing weight and everything actually made traveling easier. And one thing that you're definitely known for in the space more recently is your amazing trip to Iceland. You're now the king of Iceland, right? That's what I heard. So, so I wanted to hear about just this Iceland trip. I wanted to hear what actually brought you to care about Iceland in the first place, to make this like your, because most people would go to Japan. I'm going to go to France. I'm going to go to some of these other countries. Why Iceland?
Yeah, man, sure. So wanting to travel more. So first of all, like, it was awesome to be able to sit in an airplane seat and use the seatbelt without having to get an extender. Like when I went to Iceland last year, and I was able to do that, and without having to ask the steward or a flight attendant for an extender, like, I was like, oh yeah, this is super cool. Like, I fit in the seat better, I feel better, I can get up and down better, and it's like just being able to, because you don't think about that until you're able to do it, and it clicked in my head that, like, oh wow, I can put the seatbelt on now, not even think about it, So yeah, it definitely made it easier there, but. To going back to actually answering your question, I've been interested in Iceland for a long time. And to be honest, the catalyst was because of a game that I played called EVE Online. And if everybody can probably see the EVE box sitting on my bookshelf back there. And so EVE Online is a MMORPG that's been around since 2003. And their headquarters is in Reykjavik. Their studio is in Reykjavik, Iceland. And so every year they have what they call it a fan fest. So basically it's a convention of us space nerds, because it's a game based in space. It's flying spaceships and whatnot. But it's, they have a convention, they call it a fan fest every year, and it's held in Reykjavik. And so going back to like 2015-ish or so is when I really wanted to go, but it was because of the convention and being around like-minded people, right? But the more that I started looking at Iceland as a country and like realizing how beautiful it is there, like seeing how different it looked. Like Iceland does not look like any other country. Like, to me, it's like even the mountains, it's a volcanic island. I mean, it's all volcanoes. So even the rock there is different. Like, there's parts of it that look like the surface of Mars. It looks super cool. It's just gorgeous there. And it's like, it's like, okay, the more I saw the country itself, it made me want to go even more, and not just to hang out with my space nerds, but also to be a tourist. Like, I want to go see this mountain. I want to go see this crater. I want to go see this volcano. It's like, I want to go see these. There's a patch where there's like a row of waterfalls. Like, I want to go see that. And so playing this game was the catalyst, but then seeing more of the country, seeing videos, seeing pictures, that kind of thing, it just made me fall in love. And it's like, okay, this is going to be my first trip out of the country. I'm going to make this happen.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, just hearing you talk about it, not only just now and other times, yeah, it really seems like a place you absolutely love. Is it a place you'd ever move to, you think?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Really? Oh wow.
I mean, so I applied for a job there with CCP Games, which is the studio that makes EVE. I actually applied for a job with them. So yeah, I would move there.
Wow.
Yeah, it would definitely be a whole different thing, for sure. But yeah, if the opportunity came up and it was the right opportunity, yeah, definitely.
Damn, that would be so crazy. That would be really, really crazy. How's like the prices for everything over there?
Iceland's expensive, man, because it's an island. It's an island, and they really don't produce anything. I mean, it's because everything is shipped in, right? I mean, the only thing that they have there that is something that they produce is seafood and lamb. Like, lamb is a big part of Icelandic culture and cuisine. Like lamb stew. Oh man, it's like so
really
good. Oh yeah, man. But that's like the two things that they have going for them. Now, other than that, they also produce their all their energy is geothermal, right? Because it's hot springs and volcanoes. Like virtually all of their power is made from is thermal energy. So, but I mean that's something that they can't really sell though, right? Because they're an island and it's they use it themselves. So everything has to be shipped in, and everything there is not cheap. So.
I see. So hopefully, if you do choose a job out there, it's enough to sustain.
It would have to be, it would have to make sense. Like I wouldn't just go just because, but it would have to make financial sense to do it. So
gotcha. That's a very interesting possibility. One thing I actually did want to mention that I just saw QC Man bring up, which is, did you see the Northern Lights the last time you went? Are you planning to see them next trip? But I wanted to bring something up on this.
I will put pictures into Discord today of pictures I took.
Hell yeah.
It's amazing, dude. It's like when I saw them live and you're looking up and you're just seeing the Northern Lights like dance in the sky and move how they move, because they're not standing still. It's like ripples and waves in the sky, and it's just you're standing there. Like my mouth was like I'm really seeing this happen in front of me right now. Like it blew my mind.
Wow.
Like it was just amazing. It was so cool.
That's amazing. And I wanted to bring that up because apparently there's been a bunch of solar flares happening. At a crazy rate at the moment, but apparently one of the after effects of one of these things is you get to see Northern Lights in other places, which I wasn't aware of. So last night, my wife and I drove out in where we are in South Carolina, and we were trying to look for them. And then people said you had to like up the exposure on your phone and stuff like that. So we got this picture. And we think that this is like the remnants of the Northern Lights. Is literally like from one of our houses over here. So it's like, like, wow. I was like, we don't have to go to Iceland. We could just stay here and we could see the Northern Lights.
So when I saw them, I was with, so again, I was there for the gaming convention partially because it was for a few days, but I was also there to be a tourist too. And one of the things that the game studio did for all of us nerds was you could actually purchase access to go on this Northern Lights tour, quote unquote, one night, and that's so I went and did that. And so we went out to. They have a base camp outside of Reykjavik, away from all the lights and everything. It's specifically for Northern Light viewing and studying. There's like scientists that are there. We had a scientist assigned to us that was telling us all about it, explaining things, explaining how it worked. That kind of thing. And he was also walking us through like how to set camera settings for the correct exposure settings, the correct shutters, all that. And I got some really great video and pictures from it. That was just So that's like now I know exactly how I need to set my phone in the future for that kind of thing. But man, just. Like I said, man, just seeing it live and watching it and just watching it dance and seeing it go from horizon to horizon and seeing these streams. And then as they get closer to the horizon, it changes colors from green to like pink and purple. Yeah. It's just like, dude, it blew my mind, man. It was like that whole entire rest of the night, I was jacked because it was so cool.
The way we see it in pictures and stuff, is that how it looked with like just looking by your naked eye?
Yes and no. Like pictures don't do it justice.
Oh, wow.
It looks the same. It does, but when you see the entire show happening, it's like. Yeah, actually, I'll put some. I know I put some in the Discord when I was actually there last year. I'll throw some in there again later on today, just so everybody can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, it's just amazing.
That's great. QC Man, I thought maybe this is a reference. I'm guessing to Eve. Is Bjork playing everywhere you walk around in Iceland?
Iceland is an interesting country. I saw things and learned things that I didn't think I would like. That I didn't, because you assume certain things, right? Like, I mean, as much reading and studying as I did about Iceland, like I didn't realize that. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that. So, like, pretty much all the music that was being played was American. It was like I'm back home listening to the top 40 radio station here.
Really?
And it was like all like American music. I'm like eating breakfast. I'm like eating breakfast in the morning, and they're like, Toto's playing, or
oh, really?
It's like insert name of Taylor Swift or it's like it was weird. Like I expected to hear like Icelandic musicians, because there are several. They have a lot of musicians in Iceland, but it was like all American musicians, and it was weird.
Interesting.
No, I heard no Bjork at all the entire time I was there. So, but it was kind of crazy. A lot of weird things that I didn't expect. Like, I'll tell you another one. Like, so over there, for whatever reason, Taco Bell and KFC are huge there.
Really?
Yes. Like, I saw that, and I'm like, oh, it's not just in one area. There's like several locations, and I'm like, I asked someone that in the hotel, and I'm like, is this like really a thing here? And they're like, oh yeah, we love it. I'm like,
we love it.
Okay. So it was bizarre seeing. It's just interesting.
I guess that's just international cuisine to them, Taco Bell.
Yeah, I guess.
That is amazing. I also would be remiss. We don't get this kind of sighting very often, but Fog Runner.
Hey, Fog, how you doing, man?
And he came in out with a super sticker as well, 10 spot. Jesus.
Oh yeah. Hey, Fog. Yeah, you commented on the video of mine this morning. How you doing, man?
Oh really? Fog's amazing. He's been around a lot of people's videos for a bit. He's I know a little bit of his backstory, but funny guy. So thank you, Fog, and everybody for the super chats today. I can only you guys know I appreciate it if I have. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Fog. Thank you so much. What were you saying, John?
I saw QC man said KFC, they deserve Popeyes.
KFC's is mid. Oh my god. Hey man, if they're gonna go with chicken, they better get some Bojangles. Get them over in Iceland. I'll bring them over. I'll franchise it over there. And they'll be all over it. They'll say we're now known for the Bojangles capital.
There's no McDonald's there, no Starbucks there. Like all the coffee places are all local mom and pops, which was really cool. Really good coffee. Really good. Yeah.
Huh. Xavier says, "Can't wait to go to Iceland and eat a bean and cheese burrito." Jesus Christ.
Oh man. If you do that, Xavier, when I meet you, I'm gonna smack you.
Oh my god. Dom Kim, Bojangles. I know you told me Bojangles going to LA in 2025. I'm so excited. I should be the first customer. I'll be the first one. I'll come down there. I'll put an accent on. Say, thank God you guys got it.
If anyone, so like one of the Icelandic dishes there, probably the most familiar is probably the lamb stew. Like lamb stew is like, it's so good, man. It's like lamb with like vegetables and I'm not sure what kind of broth. It might have been like lamb broth maybe, but it was really good.
Wow. Yeah. Was it, you know what? I'm actually oddly remembering that maybe when you and Chad did your first ever live stream, I might have asked a question in there. I can't remember if this was to you guys, but I'm feeling like I'm right, so I'm not sure. I think I asked a question once, like, what was the weirdest thing you ate out there? I think to both of you. What was that? Was it like, didn't you say like narwhal or something? I forget.
Fermented whale.
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
Yep.
What is that?
I will never do that again.
Oh.
It was chewy, like rubbery, but it tasted like what I imagine like battery acid tasting like.
Really?
Like it was horrible. It was so bad.
Fermented whale.
But it's like one of those things. Like it's like, okay, if you're gonna be there, it's like something you have to try when you're there because it's a thing there, Right. So it's like, Okay, I'm going to try that. I'll try it. You know, why not? Yeah, I wish I had never done that.
Man, I
It was
can't
bad.
believe that. Is that Matt Clausen says Carl? Nope. Is that what it's called, or is that just something else?
I don't remember I don't remember. I just heard it referred to as fermented whale. I didn't hear the. I didn't. No one really talked. No one really mentioned the Icelandic name for it. But that could be it, Matt. Possibly.
It reminds me of an old Woody Allen movie. I can't remember exactly which one, but I remember like the waiter came over, or maybe it was him. I forget. But he's like, someone said, "Ants on a log, ma'am." Oh no, was that John Candy? That might have been John Candy. Actually, no, I think it was John Candy.
So yeah, that sounds
Ants
right.
on a log, ma'am. Something else with Woody Allen. I can't remember. I get my things mixed up. But like, here's some fermented whale.
Yeah.
Fillmore says no turkey burgers in Iceland. That's sad. You know, one day I want to be like Mark Wahlberg, although his kind of is trash. But I want to make my own turkey, like the Venture Burger. Come on, son, how cool would that be? I'll put them in Iceland. That'd be awesome. But
I would think there's probably turkey burgers in Iceland. They have. There's a Costco in Reykjavik. They have grocery stores. They have some. It's not like crazy weird stuff, but they have turkey and beef and all that. But everything there is just as expensive as crazy. But one more thing too is hot dogs. Like Icelandic hot dogs are the best I've ever had anywhere. I've had hot dogs in Chicago. I've had hot dogs in New York. It puts them to shame.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I would never think that.
I never would have thought about it either. But then I got there. There's like a hot dog stand in the airport. I'm like, really? Okay. Huh. And so I didn't think about it much, but I saw there was several around Reykjavik as well. And I thought, I'm just going to stop in and have one. And yeah, it was like the best hot dog I've ever had in my life.
It's not like a Nathan's like cart or something, is it? Or is it just like
no,
a boutique hot dog place?
Some kind of whatever it is. Yeah, it was super good. It's probably fermented whale, but no, right. Whale hot dogs. Oh, but yeah, it was really good. It was really good though. Yeah, it's the best I've ever had.
Jeez. So. And then Fillmore says, "John, you are the prince. Please outlaw the turkey burger in Iceland." Jesus. I also wanted to mention, I thought it was interesting before I want to ask you about some credit card stuff. Eat some points home. He said, John likes Fallout. He has a Vault Boy in the background of his vids. I never noticed, dude. Oh, I see him right over there, the bobblehead. Which, is that just standard bobblehead or is that a plus anything?
It's a standard bobblehead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. If you were to choose a +1 skill, what would it be?
Oh, man. Probably strength.
Strength? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would probably do charisma. I think I'd probably do that. I think I'd try to win.
Yeah, charisma definitely comes in handy. Yeah. If it wasn't strength, it'd probably be charisma.
Gotcha. I love Fallout. It's my favorite.
That's one of my favorite series of all time. I love the games. I have all of them. So.
Yeah.
I love
absolutely. Fallout. I didn't play 76 though. I don't know. I guess past when I stopped kind of playing, but I watched my brother-in-law play it a lot, so I love it. So have you watched the series at all on whatever it is, Netflix?
I have not. I've been really leery about watching things tied to games that I love, and it's like I never played Halo because I've never been a console guy. I'm a PC gamer only, so I never really played Halo or anything like that at all. But I heard people talk about that show as well, and I heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's crap," and so on and so on. So it's like, do I really want to watch a show about a game that I really love a lot? And so I've kind of steered clear of it. Although I've heard from a few people that they said that they think it's really good. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't fully watch it yet, but at least a few that I saw, I thought that it was maybe not the best. I would say maybe the best they could have done. I do like it. I think they did a good job. But my wife stopped wanting to watch it because it got really gory, and I just, we just
understandable. The Fallout games are kind of gory, so yeah.
Right. So on the topic of getting to Iceland in the first place, How did you do it with, because I understand you had a combination of things with credit cards and some cash on certain things. Even if you want to combine just how you did it the first time or even just the second redemption, because I know the second redemption is a little more interesting for some reasons. But yeah, how'd you do it with credit cards, points and miles?
So again, that was my first like trip out of the country, was to Iceland. And how I did it was so when I started going down the rabbit hole of watching videos, watching reviews, and all that, like I talked about this in one of my earlier videos, but I basically was looking at wanting to get the Delta Gold card because obviously everyone knows I love Delta, and I was rejected for it twice by American Express. I'll make the story short because the video goes into more detail. But so I was frustrated with that. So I had noticed, in my Chase portal, because I've had Chase cards for a while, I have the trifecta here.
Oh wow!
Unlimited. So I kept seeing where I was pre-approved for the Sapphire Preferred, and so I'm like, okay, well then I'm just going to get the Sapphire Preferred then. And went into my Chase portal, filled in a couple things, and was instantly approved for it. So, being brand new to the game, being brand new to travel and all this, I had money sitting in, and I still have a bank account set aside for travel. That has not changed. You're going to maybe go on a tangent here, but I'll stop myself now. But so I have an account set aside for travel because travel's not free. Yeah. There, I said it. And I had money set aside. So I basically booked everything on the Sapphire Preferred card. So I met the spend right away. I put all of the trip on the Sapphire Preferred. I used Chase's portal to do it too. So I booked the hotel that I stayed at in the Chase portal. I also ended up booking my Delta flight through the portal as well for the 5X on everything. And it was a kind of a crap experience that turned into a good experience. And so what happened is, like, the hotel booked fine, but I was looking for specific Delta flights and I couldn't see them in the portal. I couldn't see the one that I wanted in their portal that I could see on the Delta website. So I called the Sapphire number and I got a hold of this really nice lady, and she was superb. Man, her customer service was so good, and she was able to find the flight. She was able to, she got it all booked for me, and she found she even found a discount or something. She was able to apply. Oh. And so she got the hotel. She made sure the hotel was good, but she got that flight booked for me. And I think we were on the phone for like 45 minutes, and her just superb customer service. And so, I'm not the biggest Chase fan, overall, but the customers, the times I've had to deal with them, it's been really good. So I can't really complain. But yeah, I booked all of that trip on the Sapphire Preferred card. So, and I did not have global entry yet, so I also paid for my global entry with the card as well. And this was all in very end of January, beginning of February of last year. So,
gotcha.
So yeah, so the Sapphire Preferred paid for my vacation. And then when I got the bill for the Preferred for all my bookings, I paid it off right away with the cash I had sitting in my travel account. So it was paid off right away. And then of course I took that card with me over there because travel protections and everything, and it was the card that I used. I did another video on the cards I took with me to Iceland, and it was the card that I put all my transit on. So I rode city buses a couple of times, took a scooter a couple of times, so, and all that coded as travel on the Preferred. So I used but it was mostly with me because it was what I booked everything on. So yeah, it was my oh crap card. So.
Nice. So wow, that one card really did everything for you for at least that first time.
It was the catalyst. It really was. So, but yeah, so and yeah, so I paid all cash for that trip.
Right. And now I guess since then you have a bunch of Chase points that you have used or haven't used.
Have not used them yet.
Okay.
So I've been sitting on them, as well as some city thank you points as well, for things that I want to do coming in 25 and 26, based upon things that I am hoping to see as far as like redemptions go.
Yeah.
Just for me, and I guess this is something I can kind of get into right now too. So, I'm probably one of, if not the only single creator in this space. I think. I think for the most part I am. So everybody's got a player too, right? I mean, you have a player too. Stan does. Phil does. And as far as going with creators, Luke does, and Chad, and so it's like even Matt does too. So it's like everybody has a player too. I don't. So it's just me. So for me in the space, I kind of do want to look at cent per point redemptions, and I also want to look at the least amount of points that I can use as possible to achieve the goal that I want to. Because for me, I can't get, I don't have a player two to like, oh, it's open this card and this card. Like I can't do the ink train that you're doing with Motivation. So it's like I have to really prioritize my spend. And so it's, I'm using Rakuten. Everything I do is I'm going through Rakuten. It's like, okay, how can I double the points? These are the Delta shopping portals. Like, okay, well, what else can I stack in there as well? So I'm looking for all these opportunities to figure out, am I maximizing the points that I can get through this, insert name of purchase here. And then, because like I said, I'm only able to achieve the points that I can achieve on my own. So I have to look at what I'm gaining, and I have to look at the value of what I am going to redeem. So for me, it does kind of, I'm not really an earn and burn guy. It's like I have to be strategic in my mind, at least. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, you can only be as careless with your points as to the degree of how many points you actually have. If just like forget it. When I was getting down to my last little bit of Hilton points, I was a little more frugal with them, as I was going out. So yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the whole, you have to spend your points every year because eventually of course everything gets devalued, but I'm also not going to spend my dollars at the end of each year just because I have access to that. I want to use them at some other point.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there. But yeah, it's like I have things I want to do, right? Like, this year obviously I'm going back to Iceland, and I did the awesome flying blue redemption for Delta One. So that's that was really cool. But those things I want to do next year, like I'm going to France next year. I will be returning to Iceland next year. I think I'm doing Italy in the fall next year. The Japan's on the radar. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I don't know about next year. Like some of this is going to have to go into probably 2026 and that kind of things. But it's like I have all these things in my head lined up, but it also depends on timing too, right? Like if I want to go to some place, in the fall of next year, well, I can't book anything yet because you can't book anything that far out yet. So because most of the websites only allow you to book 11 months out. So, so you kind of have to. So I kind of have to wait. It's like I know what I want to do in my head, but I have to kind of wait until the opportunity is there to do it. So I kind of have to be strategic in a way, because I'm a single dude and I'm only able to earn so many points,
Yeah, absolutely.
But if there's any single ladies out there that would like to apply for a position, let me know. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. We need to do the we need to get you a player too. We need to do the dating show. So we'll have a credit card dating show at one point, and we'll set it up. I guarantee you I can make it happen. I guarantee you. It's like interests.
So I think I kind of I kind of approach, and I kind of want to gear my channel toward that at some point. So it's like I kind of have to approach it from a different angle than a lot of other guys, or a lot of other guys and ladies that have partners and have player twos and whatnot. So
makes sense. And you kind of breezed over it, but I think people would be interested to see, because people were pretty hyped about it when you got it done. Which was you scored like, and I don't even know the full details of it, but apparently you scored like a fairly cheap or like a really rare Delta One flight or something. What happened with that?
Oh yeah, so obviously I'm going back to Iceland this year. Yeah. So I'm going back at the very end of October, and so I booked it with points and cash. And I know I'm not supposed to be using cash, but it is what it is. So I found I was using Amex's version of Point.me, and I was going through there looking at, because I know I wanted to go back in the fall, because I want to see the Northern Lights again. Hopefully the weather cooperates. The weather was like perfect last year, so hopefully, of course, if it's cloudy, it's kind of Mother Nature kind of screwing you over. But I mean, but I want to see the Northern Lights again. I want to go in the fall. And so I was looking at are there any options at all in the fall? And I was going through Point.me, and I come across this specific date, and I saw it pop up with this opportunity with Flying Blue Points, and it said, Delta One from JFK to Reykjavik for 51,500 points. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, really? So I logged into my Flying Blue account, or my Air France account. I logged into my Delta account to verify that, okay, is this real? Is this still available? And is this real? And sure enough, it was there.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, all right, this is cool. But I waited a couple of days to think about it. It's like, okay, is this going to be the time that I go? Do I want to go during this time, late October, beginning of November? And so I thought about it a couple of days, and I went back to it, and it was still there. And I'm like, yep, I'm doing it. And I had Flying Blue Points. And so I went in. So I did my first redemption, right? I'm booking the Delta One flight in the Air France portal, in my Air France portal, using my Air France points. And so I got Delta One from JFK to Reykjavik for 51,500 points.
Wow. That is so crazy. And for people who don't know necessarily what Delta One is, could you describe just the level of it?
So Delta One is the lay flat option that Delta has in their aircraft, comparing it to and of course I've not flown on any of these other airlines' products yet, but basically like a Polaris on United, or Air France's business class, or basically it's their lay flat option. I don't know if I would compare it to maybe like the suite or anything. That's probably even a higher grade, but basically it's Delta's lay flat bed, nice business class option. And those seats are very hard to find.
Yeah, I've heard. And I think that's a great tool you used. And also it's funny because it's exactly how I booked my flight to Hawaii, which now it's going to be canceled, but because I had to move in, there's a bunch of issues. But it was the same thing. I had Air France miles, and it was like a pretty cheap Delta flight with those miles for 2 tickets to Hawaii from JFK as well. So it's out there,
Like a 5 cent per point redemption. And even for Delta, really? So first of all, flying Delta One availability is hard, and let alone getting that good of a cent per point value is even harder to find. So yes, I was ecstatic when I found it. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. We're going.
That's gonna be great. So, I really need you, John, to be recording a video when you're laying flat. Like, all right, we're on the way to Iceland.
I will. I'm going to try. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I document this journey without being annoying to people around me? So it's like, I'm going to try to, get a little bit of video, some pictures, and as much as I can. And, and so the rest of my trip though is with cash. And so here's the reason why. And I go into more depth in the video, but so I found first class on Delta to and from, to JFK and back to Kansas City, which is where I live. First class on Delta for like $240.
Really?
Like stupidly crazy cheap price. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing this. So I paid cash for that because I'm like, $500 round trip, why not? In first class, hell yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So, but coming back from Reykjavik, here was the problem is I'm trying to find flights back from Reykjavik back to the States because it's getting late. It's getting into fall. It's going into winter there, and a lot of airlines shut down flights to Reykjavik because a lot of them are seasonal. And so, I've always wanted to fly Iceland Air, which is obviously Iceland's carrier, and I basically found so basically it would be comparable to Delta's like premium select seat. So like the premium select on Delta is the nice wide seat, nice screen. It's a seat that goes back at like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
So I found Iceland Air's product for like $700. And I thought, well, that seems like a really good deal. And comparing it to what any other airline had available, it was like everybody else was at least double, if not more.
Wow. So
here's the thing with Iceland Air. Iceland Air is not really partners with anybody except for Alaska. And I don't have any Alaska points. So, and there's no other, because they're not part of any alliance. So the only option was to pay cash. So I had no choice. So I booked that. Obviously, I booked my first class flights to and from JFK, and then also the Iceland Air Premium Select back to JFK. I booked all of that with my Delta Platinum or with my Amex Platinum card. Yeah. For the 5X. So I'm flying back to JFK on Iceland Air, and I also get to sample Iceland Air's lounge in Reykjavik at the airport there. That's called Saga lounges. So their point system is called Saga Points. So SAGA. Saga. So they have a lounge there at Keflavik Airport. So I'm going to get to try out the Saga Lounge as well. So there'll be footage of that as well. So
that'll be cool. Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see what kind of lounges they have outside of the mainstream ones. That's very cool. Yeah. Wow. And actually, Filmo said y'all will see pics of my large self in lay flat in July. Wow. And he also Delta one. I guess based on Kayla. And then Kayla on the way home from Michael Wong's recommendation. That's cool. Huh.
Michael's the man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Mike's great. And then QC Man from the Staten Island Oprah to the SI Truck Woolery host of the Dating Game Show. I would love nothing more than to do that. I would love nothing more to have like 3 people next to me on either side, and we'll have a dating game. Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh, thank you, Key. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, and the hotel I'm staying at there is it's a local Icelandic chain called Center Hotels. It's where I stayed at when I went last year. And so Center Hotels is an Icelandic. It's been owned by like 3 generations of the same family. And they have several locations around Reykjavik, but I'm staying at the one that I stayed at before. Yeah. It's not part of any. They have no point system. They're not partners with anybody. So it's like you have to pay cash. And yes, they have Marriott's there. They have Hilton's there. I don't want to stay at a American branded hotel. I don't want to feel like I'm home. Because the Center Hotels definitely have the European feel. They're definitely very European. That's what I want. I don't want to walk into a Hilton in Reykjavik and feel like I'm down the street from my house,
Right.
So I pay cash, and for that, so I do have the. I'm not gonna try to make sure I hide everything. I also have the city trifecta.
Whoa.
As well.
Very nice.
So I booked the hotel in Reykjavik with my Premier card because I hadn't used the $100 credit yet on there for booking through their portal. So I'm like, okay, well then I'm going to be paying at least $500 for the hotel while I'm there because I'm there for like 6 days. And so I was able to easily get that $100 credit back. And I got 10x points for booking through the portal. So made almost 8,000 points for booking the hotel. So I didn't have a choice because I'm staying at a hotel that is, again, there's no reward system. There's I'm not part of any kind of a alliance or anything. So I paid cash for it too, but it's where I wanted to stay at. So it was worth it to me.
So here's actually, I feel like we're embarking on a topic that hasn't actually fully been addressed yet, I don't think.
Bobby.
Bobby Yakuzo. Just because, hi, John. Thank you so much, Bobby. I asked him when we met in Vegas. Every time I see his name, I just laugh to myself because I was like, is that like Japanese or something? Yakuza. What the Yakuza? But thank you, Bobby. I appreciate you, man, for coming in with the 5 spot, man.
Can't wait to see you, Bobby.
That's right. Yeah, you guys going. Thank you guys so much thank you, Bobby, for that. We're embarking on a topic that I feel like hasn't necessarily been addressed, and I'm excited that we're taking this road now because in my mind there's something here. So you said that you booked this boutique, for 3 generations owned Iceland hotel because you want that feel of being in Iceland. You don't want to go on a Hilton. It's basically like getting Taco Bell, abroad, something like that. So I think there is a real world where that makes sense. I don't think anyone's ever really felt like, let me immerse myself in the area that I'm in. Like, I think the point is because we have all these, points for Hyatt or points for Hilton and Marriott and all these different chains, or, Lonnie uses his United Miles for everything. But I don't think a lot of people are considering, like, yes, it may be cheaper and easier to book like a really nice Park Hyatt over in Shanghai, but what if I did try to stay in one of these, boutique hotels? Maybe like if I have my Chase cards or my Charles Schwab card, I could cash out the points, pay that way via points, to kind of really immerse yourself. I guess one of the bigger issues is you don't know where, because like when you don't have the loyalty, when you don't have the track record that we know that Hilton just tested and true, everywhere. But I guess with enough research, and I guess you did your research to find a good hotel in that area, there's a real argument for maybe using your points by cashing them out and booking like an immersive experience in that area, right? But I guess that means something to different people. Like I think we're probably similar in that I want to immerse myself when I go somewhere, probably. But what do you think on that?
Yeah, I was going to do a video on this too about hotels and my viewpoint on them. But I'm kind of the same way. Like if I'm like I said, I'm in Iceland. I don't like. And I did my research. The Marriott's there, the Hilton's there. They all look like an American hotel. Like I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like I'm staying at a Hilton down the street from my house. I want that immersive. I want to have that. Iceland because they serve Icelandic breakfast. It's like you get skyr. So skyr is a yogurt basically. They have like really good toast. Their homemade jams are, oh man, it is so good. They have like different cheeses and like they have like a ham on a little kind of like a little toasted sweet cracker. It's just like superb food. It's Icelandic food. I don't want to walk into a Hilton Inn, and Rick and have bacon and eggs. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be immersed in where I'm at. So if that means paying cash, then so be it. I'm at a place where, first of all, I can afford to do it because again, I have a travel account that I put a little bit of each of my paychecks that I get from my employer into this account for occasions such as this. And I'm okay with paying cash for an experience that I'm going to get and I'm going to enjoy, instead of redeeming points for a Hilton or a Marriott or a Hyatt in another place. I want that where I'm not going to get that immersion. So for me, it's important. So.
Definitely. And actually, Oakland brings up a good point here. He says, you don't need loyalty or status at any decent boutique. They will take care of you simply for being a paid customer, which is how it should be in real life. Yep. It's very, very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, And so I just, I don't, that's just me. But I know, other people are different. Like people I'm sure there's people in here in the chat or there's people in the Discord that they want familiarity, right? Like they know that, okay, well, I am a Hilton loyalist. I'm not going to stay at anything but a Hilton no matter where I'm at. And that's fine. That's okay. If that's like, I'm a big proponent of people, you do you, whatever's best for you. If that's what you want, you have that, that security blanket, I guess, for lack of a better term, the product, and that's cool. And don't get me wrong, I love Hiltons. I'm staying at a lot of Hiltons this year in my travels here in the States this year. Yeah. It's my preferred property, or brand. But, but if I'm overseas, I want that experience. I want that immersive experience. And I know that, and I have seen pictures I have seen, here and there where some of the properties overseas do have that European ambiance to them, right? There are some that do, but not a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I just want that whole immersive, like I want to be as fully into it as I can be.
Absolutely. It's something that I, again, learned from Lonnie, which is how he's booking all of his different hotels. And I guess upon learning about all of that, using my Sky Miles and what have you to book like Delta Stays, that's how I was able to book the friggin' ancient lore Hobbit village. And that was a really interesting experience. Yeah. Couldn't have done that anywhere else. So I think it's something that is, taken for granted a little bit, that we have all these points, but, there's another world out there where you can, use your points maybe a different way, or just pay cash and have a really unique stay. Like, I know when you go to Japan, you're going to stay at that hotel that has Godzilla in the bed, right?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Godzilla. Yep.
Godzilla, baby. I know you're going to go stay at that hotel for sure, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a greater brand, but
no, it's not. No.
It's not, right? I'd be laughing and be like, "Oh, it's actually a Hampton." It's like, huh? What?
Yeah. That's a tourist hotel, really? No.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese brand. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like I want that experience. That's super cool. Like, I want to get the room. I want to get the room that's up at the same level as Godzilla's head, and Godzilla's like looking into the room. Like, that's super awesome to me. I'm like a giant Godzilla fan. Like that. Like, that's super cool. That
would be awesome. And nobody's talking about that. You're not going to get that really at Hilton, I don't think. So,
And also too, I think that being able to lend a different perspective on things too. Like, okay, well, I know that not everybody, but so many people talk about, oh, I'm going to go to Japan and stay at the Park Hyatt, or I'm going to go stay at the whatever insert name of Hilton property or whatever it is. And it's like it's kind of cool that I kind of want to be different too. Like, and I want to be different in as many ways as I can, because I want to be able to lend a different perspective. Maybe I say something about, hey, this hotel is super awesome, man. This, the Godzilla hotel is amazing. And it makes someone else is like, oh, that does sound kind of cool. Maybe I want to do that instead, And just to, like I said, because I've learned so much from you guys, everybody doing their different things. It's so nice to see different perspectives and hear why people do certain things a certain way, And it's just like I want to be, and that's kind of like how I'm doing my channel is I want to be different. Like, I don't want to be the person that talks about the same freaking card that 50,000 other people have talked about, and present the same material in the same way. Like, I want to be different. I don't want to be, cookie cutter, no.
Definitely. I think that's a good way to differentiate for sure. Have these weird eclectic experiences for sure. Keith made me laugh earlier. John talking about Icelandic food. Anthony, like, where are the turkey burgers at? Or where are the burgers at? For sure. It's all that's it. Fog. Sorry, I'm back. Let's go. Michael Long said, I stayed at a boutique hotel in Interlaken, Swiss. Got that real fondue. Small town. Interesting. Yeah. Filmo said, Lincolnberry Scare. Breakfast sounds like a plan. I haven't heard of these places. It's crazy.
Scare is awesome, man. It's basically like a really smooth yogurt. It's like you take our yogurt, which is
that's better.
It's like really smooth. It's kind of rich, but it's also light, and it's kind of a hard way to describe it. But yeah, you put like some berries or something with it. But I like just the plain skyr. The plain skyr is amazing. So.
Huh. Gotcha. Vincent, so to your point, John, I stayed at the Hilton Shinjuku in Toyota. Oh my God, Tokyo, and the breakfast there was okay at best. I went to a Denny's a block away from the hotel. It was delicious, more localized, hilarious. And Mark can barely fit in the European hotel showers, aka coffin showers.
So yeah, the hotel I stayed at in Reykjavik, the shower, the bathroom is pretty Spartan. It's pretty plain Jane, but it's like in the shower, it's like a really small, but European properties, houses or all that, they tend to be smaller, right? Even like the streets in Reykjavik are narrower streets. Parking spaces are narrower. Or more narrow, and it's like so. It's everything there. So yeah, it took a couple of days to get used to the shower, but it's like it worked. It was water and soap and shampoo. Just you had to be you're in this very small area. So luckily, I don't take up. Luckily, I don't take up as much space as I used to. So it was good.
There you go. Hell yeah. It's all different benefits. Well, Joe had to go in sideways, so I guess that's what she said. I'm not sure. Anyway. Joe, come on, Joe. Don't be so horrible, Joe. Anyway, Fogburner said, "FYI, guys, I'm fluent in Japanese. Really? Are you someone who learned after? I'm guessing when you say I'm fluent in Japanese, it means you're not Japanese. You probably learned it. I feel like do I know this, Fog? Were you in the military or something? I feel like you may have lived there or something. But if you I used to tell some students that were from Japan, they would always laugh when I used to say "zem zem o karemazen." I think it just means like I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like a million. It's like so cool.
Yeah, I'd love to be fluent in different languages, but I'm trying to learn a little bit of Spanish. Obviously and it's Cesar and Joe's fault. Thanks, Dad.
John will literally learn the whole language.
But it's like I want to learn basic like French before I go to France. So it's like I want to at least be able to say a couple of things, if nothing else, even Japanese or whatever. So German, so that kind of thing. But it'd be nice to be able to say at least a few things. It'd be nice to be. I think it'd be awesome, like to be able to like Matrix style download something into your head and you know it instantly, like in 2 seconds. But you know Japanese now. Okay, awesome. Start speaking in Japanese, or But
yeah. Well,
that technology's not here yet.
For sure. And you know what? I actually, on this topic, it's something I was planning to do anytime I did eventually go to one of these countries abroad. It's like for the 6 months leading up to it, just go ham and try to learn as much as possible. And I thought it would be a really interesting way to tie that into like the whole credit card points and miles travel game. Because I learned Chinese for many years, and I can't wait for the day I can actually go to Taiwan or maybe the mainland if it's safe. But I think that'll be so freaking fun. So same thing, Japan, I'll probably do a 6-month excursion. France, a 6-month excursion, just go crazy.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Yeah, the whole Asia, like I said, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore. Like I want to see it. I want to see it all as much as I can. So.
Oh well,
all of Europe.
Juan, damn man, that's right. So I'm talking about Juan, hitting up Joe on all sides. Anyway, Fog said, "Oh, there's zem zem wo garimasen." I don't understand anything. Yeah, it's my favorite Japanese phrase. Josh Gable's here. He said, "Oh,
Josh
here, checking in from what, Belgium? Is that where he's at, or he's somewhere else? Maybe. I know he's traveling a little bit."
Josh.
Was popping. I got to meet him recently in person, and that was awesome. He is hilarious, and he's very quick with a joke and a light of your smoke. Actually, very funny guy.
I think it'd be kind of cool to go to DC and hang out with Josh for a few days. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great. He is so good. Xavier, again, man, what are you doing?
Jeez, man.
Listen, I'm gonna start getting crazy. Don't get crazy, man. I did that in the past, but thank you, Xavier, again for the the 10th spot. Once I finish my doctorates, I want to learn a new language. Hell yeah, man. I recommend LingQ. Here's my advice to you, Xavier. Anyone learning languages, there's a lot of different ways. They have Babbel, they got Rosetta Stone for you older folks. Got all these different things. The best way I've ever found, after all of the methods I've ever done, from dictionary to sophisticated apps, was an app called LingQ. It's by a guy named owned by Stephen Kaufman. He's on YouTube actually. LingQ basically immerses yourself into a language for the first time. So it's not just one word or space, based repetition. It's here's a story, a mini story. I went to the farm today, and here was a cat here, or I went to the store and my friend was there. Little stories, stuff we would hear in day-to-day life, and you have all the words, and it's all on there, like you're just reading a story. And what you can do is click on like, here's a word, chaoshi, in Chinese, it means supermarket. So I can click on that, it'll say supermarket. And now I know what the English word is. So the next time I see another story that includes, we went to the chaoshi, I'm like, oh, yes. And that's how you learn in life. And what I've done too is once you learn the story by reading, set the phone down, put it over there, and just listen to it. Okay, I went to the chaoshi. So I'm like, oh, now I can recognize that's what that word means. So that's my advice for anyone learning a language.
Interesting.
It's the LingQ, LINGQ. On the App Store.
Check it out. Yeah.
I want to friggin' let me sponsor me, man. Sponsor me, LingQ. I would love to do that. That's my favorite app ever.
I know for a little bit I was. Sorry, man.
No, I said thank you, Xavier, again.
And I was learned or tried to learn like a little bit of Chinese, like if going into like eat at a Chinese restaurant, be able to say please and thank you, or yes and no in Chinese. And of course, that's been a few years ago now, but like at least trying, to
absolutely
say something.
Yeah, no, definitely, and part of it is like fog. Well, great advice for language. I appreciate that. But then also immersing yourself. Like I had an app called Hello Talk, which I also recommend, which gets you in contact with people who are learning your language and then vice versa. So I have many friends from China mainland, from Taiwan, that, you can talk whatever language. You're just making friends, basically. So you kind of have the learning side. Like I would have like a few hours of learning side and then 3 hours of like the immersive side and talk to them online. So it's definitely the way I would do it. And Fog probably did it through Hard Knocks in the Navy. He said he was in the Navy. So we salute you, sir. And I'm sure he lived there for a bit and immersed himself. So that's awesome. That's very, very cool. Cody Little says, I need to learn Spanish just because where I live at, it would be beneficial. What's up, Cody, man? What's up, Cody? For sure. Okay, so interesting. So a lot of interesting stuff, and thank you again, Xavier, and everybody who's super chatting. I also wanted to ask you too, kind of shifting again. So you had a video do really well recently, and of course I'll plug your channel. I can't do it right now, but at the end I'll plug it and everything. But you did a video that pretty much blew up, which was on the Bilt card, and you made a video that I think. Something that we've seen in Reddit threads and see people done in the Reddits and online, but never in video form. So I think that's why it did so well. So what do you do with the Bilt card, for renters? What do you use the Bilt card for that most people are not aware you can do or, are afraid to do?
So, yeah, and I guess it was sort of, now that I think about it, it was kind of clickbaity in a way because you're not really doing it with the card. But going back to last year, about this time last year, was seeing a lot of DPs on like Reddit. Of course, Reddit always the big asterisk of grain of salt. And a couple other places where people that are Wells Fargo mortgage holders, of which I am, I refinanced my mortgage in the beginning of 21, and when I refinanced it, Wells Fargo picked it up, and so I'm a Wells Fargo mortgage holder. And so I see in DPs in there saying that, hey, with the relationship that Bilt and Wells Fargo have, Bilt is allowing Wells Fargo mortgage holders to use Bilt ACH to pay their mortgages and get points with it. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. So I was reading more, and then seeing several DPs of people saying the same thing. A lot of people are saying, yeah, well, if you have Wells Fargo, you're good to go. But anyone else trying it with any other mortgage company, they were getting shut down. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe the Bilt card is worth a flyer on, because it wasn't really on the radar. Because I kind of thought, okay, I don't rent, so this card doesn't make any sense for me. Why would I get this card? And I know I said that a lot in the Discord early on. And then when I started looking at seeing these DPs, I kind of thought, well, maybe there's something to this. And I saw enough information that I thought I would take a flyer on it. So I went ahead and got the card. I got approved for it. And I got approved for it right at the end of July of last year. It was like right in time for my August mortgage payment. So I got Bilt ACH, because you're not using the card, right? You're using the ACH system of Bilt, which is the same thing that everybody that rents is using. So I got my Bilt ACH set up and did all that. And so I tried it and it worked. And a few days later, about a week later or so, because I'd also gotten my purchases in as well with the card, and I saw the points pop up. Like, oh yeah, Bilt, Bilt points for the mortgage. And I thought, okay, interesting. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe at some point they shut this down. Maybe it's a test thing they're doing for Wells people because, again, of the relationship that Bilt, because, Wells Fargo issues the card. So, but it's been almost a year now, and I'm still getting points from my Wells Fargo mortgage using Bilt ACH. So, and in the video, I didn't come right out point blank and say, this is what you should do. If you do this, you will get this. I basically said, it was very nuanced. It basically said, well, if you have Bilt and you're a Wells Fargo customer, basically if you know. And I just left it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that video has gotten a lot of traction. So by far my highest viewed video. But yeah, so I guess that kind of got me on the radar.
For sure. Because it's, I've read all the threads and some people in Discord wondering and whatnot. So I've seen all the people doing it. I guess the main thing is as everything in this game, do at your own risk, Yeah.
But, and yeah, exactly. And I kind of figured, the more I was reading, the more I saw, it was like, hey, you know what? Bilt is doing this. They're probably allowing Wells Fargo customers to do it, to test, maybe for something in the future for maybe all mortgages, maybe down the road, in which we've heard a little bit about, right?
Yep.
And so it's worked this entire time, and no issues with Wells Fargo or no issues with Bilt at all. Yeah. And so, it's been kind of cool, if I am the test subject for something coming down the road that a wider swath of people can take advantage of it at some point. That's awesome. But also too, like I said, I was talking about things in that video that a lot of people don't think about. Like, okay, because I know Keith in the Discord, he's been a real big proponent of the Bilt card here the last few months.
He's here right now, actually.
Yep,
don't encourage me to get a mortgage.
Keith the Bilt man. I know he's a big proponent of the card. I know he's gotten a lot of value from it in the first few months he's had. Not so much on the mortgage side, but just from his other spend on it. Yeah. But if being able to take advantage of that is really cool. And I guess I lost my train of thought for a minute, but I found it again. But I was also going into other things that people don't think about, right? Like they are allowing people with HOAs to make an HOA payment through Bilt ACH. I also brought up, all things home. If you have insurance coming up, if you have, if you're paying, all these different things that are tied to your house, pay on the first of the month to get 2x on it. So that was kind of the gist of it. But yeah, I was mainly saying, hey, by the way, if you have Wells Fargo and you have Bilt, you might do something with it. So without coming out and saying it. So
yeah, no, for sure. And Xavier actually mentioned, he said, John, your video got the point across. One of the reasons I recently applied for the Bilt card, if other mortgages aren't a thing for the Bilt card at the end of the year, Wells Fargo will have my business. Interesting.
Nice, man.
Keith says the Bilt card is worth a $524. It's no annual fee. Great dining card. MasterCard, 2x Rente, and the best transfer partners out there. There you go. Video done. That's he's got everything.
Yeah, and the thing too is, I've been a big, hey, I'm using it for my mortgage, my mortgage points. I don't, whatever else. To me, it's a mid card, right, for everything else, in my opinion. But it's got a lot of things going for it that can definitely make it higher up on my list of cards to use, especially because I think some of us noticed it, maybe all of us noticed it here in the past few days, where it looked like Bilt opened up Bilt dining to a ton of cities across the country. Here in Kansas City included, there's like a ton of restaurants now. So being able to double dip with of course, I'm always going to use my gold card regardless.
Yeah.
But being able to double dip on, if it's throughout the month, but especially, on the first of the month, if I'm able to go out and pay with my gold card and also double dip with getting some Bilt points on top of that for dining at the same place, why not do it? That's a hack. You're getting points for two different ecosystems, so it definitely makes the card more appealing to use. So
definitely. And actually, what you mentioned, Bilt dining, which was interesting because we in DC, we realized after the fact because we didn't think to check that portal. But it just so happened Calby happened to use one of the cards that's in his Bilt wallet that also gave him that we also went to restaurants that were part of Bilt dining. So I forgot what he said. He ended up getting like 9 points or something, or like a crazy amount of points per dollar at that specific restaurant. And then we opened it up and we were like, wow, there's a lot of places here in DC that have Bilt dining. That also in conjunction with in kind, which I used in DC, which is pretty cool. You can really stack like a lot of either savings and a lot of points with just the Bilt program, not even the card.
Yeah. And like for me right now, since I had someone in the Discord use my gold referral link. Yeah. So now till the end of July, I'm getting like 14x on dining on the gold card. So it's like, oh, well, on rent day, I can get 14x on my gold card and get 6x on Bilt points for the first of the month. So it's like, okay, that's
Yeah, no, that's amazing. You have that. I haven't had a gold referral link in freaking years now. Platinum referral link in years now. I get no love from Amex, to be honest. I just talk about them because I like them. But QC man, did you give yourself? Yeah, I realized that if I just do this, wait, does that have to be a way?
Double thumbs up.
There you go. Boom, we got it. Doesn't this work too? Like you blow a kiss, doesn't it? Like, wait, where is it? Let me see. If I go slow. I thought you could also blow a kiss or something. Oh no, it's there. Wait, not blow a kiss. Wait, it's there. We go. That's the.
Nice.
I forgot. Blow a kiss. Friggin'. Can we? There we go. Nice.
No, my weird heart.
Yeah.
My weird shaped heart.
The heart. Yeah, the heart's messed up. Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Okay, interesting. Okay, just making sure. I also saw what if Fox said? Fox said he has 2 Bilt cards according to TransUnion. Huh. Weird. I wonder why.
Interesting.
Applications. Empathy, big picture thinking. I love that. He says Bilt and Wells Fargo are aligned as empathetic business thinkers, and empathy equals big picture thinking, long term. Yeah, I like that. Kind of Amazon-esque, I would say. Okay, cool. So okay. So yeah, that's how you're using that and everything. That's interesting. What about because you mentioned one of the main things that you do mention with the gold card. We don't have to go super into it, but so you're maximizing the gold card via your. Because I wanted to ask you because I actually still haven't been to a Walmart neighborhood market, and you say that it codes as 4x. Yep. When you get stuff there. I haven't been in one yet, but I have one like literally like not far from here. What can you buy at the Walmart neighborhood market that you get 4x on, forever?
So, and obviously everybody knows I'm a big Amex fan. I have the most cards of any bank with Amex. And so, and of course we know, especially over the last year, the gold card, well, I mean, Amex in general, but the gold card's been getting a lot of hate. There's been video after video after video about all of a sudden everybody's tired of the gold card, right? The guy with the blue. And that's fine. I get it. Like I said, I'm all about doing what's best for you. What works for me may not work for you, and that's totally fine. And I like hearing those stories. I like hearing everybody's experiences with, okay, well, this is my setup, and this is what I do with it, and this is why. Because I like to learn, because someone might say something that makes me think and go, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about that, but okay, that makes sense. Maybe it's something I want to try, or vice versa. Maybe I say something to someone else and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I didn't think about using that card for that. So yeah. I like hearing about everybody's experiences. But for me, the gold card, so at a Walmart neighborhood market, it's a grocery store, Anthony. You can get anything you can get at I'm thinking of stores that are here in Kansas City, but like a Price Chopper or a Hy-Vee or an Aldi or a Save-A-Lot or a Hen House. It's a grocery store. It's a Walmart. It's not. You're not going into a Walmart neighborhood market and buying pillows. I mean, it is a grocery store. And so wherever you can buy it at wherever you go, I forget what you said. Lion, is that?
Yeah, we have Food Lion. Yeah,
Food Lion. Yeah, Food Lion.
Food Lion, Target, Publix.
Yeah. So it's basically if you walked into a Food Lion, you would see the same things at a Walmart neighborhood market. It's a grocery store. So, and the reason why I'm so big on the gold card is because at a Walmart neighborhood market, City cards and Chase cards do not give me anything more than 1x. Even though it codes as a grocery store. Like I have talked to Chase and City folks in chat, and we've had the discussion, and they're like, yeah, you're right. It codes as a grocery store. It does. But because it has the Walmart name in it, we will not give you anything more than 1x.
Wow.
And so I said, okay, well, that's fine, whatever. But the gold card, I get 4x for going in there. I get 4x on all my groceries in there. And I go to Walmart Neighborhood Market because it is about, depending on what you're buying, it's about 20 to 30% cheaper my grocery bill is going there than it is to like a traditional grocery like a Hy-Vee or a Price Chopper or a Food Lion or a Publix or whatever. So it's kind of like, I would equate it to going into like an Aldi. It's basically like that. Gotcha. As far as prices go. So I get 4x at a place that no other card will give me more than 1x. At a place that I like shopping for groceries at. So.
And can you? So you did say that you can get like pillows there. Are there any other like Walmart-esque thing? Oh, so it's basically just a grocery.
Correct. Yeah, that's why sorry. I might have worded that incorrectly, but like a Walmart neighborhood market is, you can't go in there and buy like furniture or a pillow or bedding or any towels or whatever. It is a grocery store. That's all it is.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, got it. Phil, they got them Piggly Wigglies down there. Well, I don't know if you do, but I don't have any, unfortunately. I don't know why. I feel like that might be in North Carolina, though. Oh, yeah, Fogg said something interesting. It's like we're all surfers showing each other how to catch a wave in a different way and borrow from each other's techniques. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Some people want to say your wave is stupid or your wave is dumb. Your technique is weird. It's like, yeah, man, we're all in the same wave.
Yeah, and I don't like hearing that. Like, I don't like it. Like, hearing someone tell you that you're doing it wrong is like, come on, really? You know what? If it doesn't work, it could be for any reason, right? Like, okay, someone doesn't like American Express. Like, there's a lot of American Express hate, and I get it. I totally understand. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. If Chase is your thing, if Citi is your thing, if Barclays or Capital One or whatever, that's great. Use what works for you. You do what gives you the most benefit.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's interesting. I also wanted to hear, because I see some people talking about like different cards and whatnot. Were you? I thought. So wait, do I have this right? I thought you had the Delta Platinum.
I do.
You do, right? Can you say what your main reasons were for getting that card?
And so
because I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about the Platinum.
If you've noticed this, I've been holding up all the cards as we talk about them. Well, and that's important to me about my channel, right? Is like I'm really focused on the cards that I have and that I have experience with. Like I really can't talk about a card that I haven't used. Like, okay, I can read off of their website what the VentureX does, but I don't have experience with it, so I don't want to talk about it. But and that's why I show my cards that I'm talking about in my videos too. Like I hold it up. It's like, okay, I'm talking about this card because I have experience with this card. But to answer your question, Anthony, so I got the Delta Platinum card in September of last year. The reason I got it was because I just completed the sub on the gold card, and I was looking for something else. I was getting ready to go to Iceland at the end of September of last year, and I wanted to have lounge access. And so obviously I'm a big Delta fan. I fly Delta almost regardless, unless it doesn't make sense to do so. And so I'm a big Delta fanboy. And so here in my city, in Kansas City, we have a brand new terminal, and the terminal has a Delta Sky Club. And I'm a person that likes to get to the airport early, and because I'm gonna leave at 90 minutes. Okay, well, what if the airport is on the exact opposite end of the city from me? And Kansas City is very spread out. I mean, it takes like 40 minutes to get to the airport from my house, and I live in the middle of the suburbs. So, so if there's a wreck on the highway, you're screwed. So if you're pushing it, you're done. You're not going to get there. So I like to get there early. So I get there early. I want to go to the Sky Club. So I'm going to Iceland for the first time. Like I want to experience it all. I want to be in the lounges. I want to do the whole thing. And so I tried getting the platinum card. And of course, you saw this, Anthony. I was in pop-up jail for the platinum card
for years.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, well, if I'm not going to get the platinum card, I'm going to get the Delta Platinum card then. And I was in pop-up jail for the Delta Platinum card too.
Jeez.
So I ended up taking the Delta Platinum card with no sub. And about 2 weeks before my flight before my trip to Iceland, I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I'm like, well, I may not get a sub, but I will get the lounge experiences and all that. So I got the card. Of course, to top it off, when I got the card in the mail via UPS, that was the same day that Delta announced all the changes that were happening with the card. So the Platinum card was not going to give lounge access at the beginning of this year. So I thought, okay, yeah, why not? This just, whatever, fine. But I had access to the lounges at least until the end of the year. So it was really cool because on the day of my flying to Reykjavik, Delta was having, I don't know if it was a system issue or if it was an issue with my card. The cat's like, feed me now. Dad, feed me.
I'll send out some. We bought an automatic feeder, so let me see if I'll do this real quick. Let's see if that'll work.
Yep. It's like a slot machine.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Ding, ding, ding,
ding. The cat hit 777s.
She did. Yes. There you go. That's right. Get out of my hair for an hour. All right, leave me alone.
So I think there was an issue with the card for some reason. I don't know, but I got to the Sky Club. I got checked into the airport, got all that squared away, got through TSA pre. I love TSA pre. It's so good. Found the Sky Club, got in there, was talking to the lady at the front desk there, and she was trying to scan my card. For some reason, the card wouldn't say, "Oh, okay, yep, you have access."
Huh.
Worked on it. She saw my boarding pass and all that. It's like, yeah, everything's legit. She could see my card. Yeah, your card's active. It's legit. I'm not sure what's going on. But she said, you know what? Let me work on this. She says, go ahead and go into the Sky Club, and I'll come and find you and when I find something out. Yeah. I said, okay, sweet, thank you. So I went into the Sky Club, got some food. And it's brand new here. I mean, it's super nice, really nice. And found some food, found some drink, sat down, and she found me, and she's like, "Yeah, we can't figure out what's wrong with your card. But she says it's active. You're legit. Enjoy." So, and with the Delta Platinum card at the time, you would have to pay a $50 fee to get into the Sky Club with that card. So I didn't have to pay anything. It wouldn't work. So they couldn't charge me anything. So it's like, okay, enjoy. Okay, cool. So had a really good experience. The food was really good. Drink was really good. Really nice Sky Club. It wasn't packed at all. I was there midday on a Monday, and including the staff, there was like 20 people in there the entire time.
Wow.
It was wide open.
Damn.
So, lounges are overflowing. Okay, whatever. So I got on my flight, and I was flying through Detroit. So I got to Detroit, and Detroit has 4 Sky Clubs. And so got off the plane. I located the Sky Club there because it's a hub. It's a secondary hub. So I found one of the Sky Clubs there. Spoke to the lady at the front desk. Same thing. The card wouldn't work.
Huh.
And she was working on it, and there was people behind me, so I stepped aside so that she could help people that were behind me. So I didn't want to keep them from getting in. So she got them all taken care of. Then she came back to me, and same thing. Like for some reason, the card just wouldn't register. But she said, "Yeah, I can see it here. It's active. And she's like, you're a great customer, and all this stuff. It's like." And she's like, I don't understand what's going on, but she says it looks like there's some technical issue with the card, but she says, go on in, done, enjoy.
Weird.
So I got into another one for free.
Nice.
So right there, I wiped $100 off of the card. So because the annual fee on the card before they made the changes to it earlier this year was $250.
Yeah.
So I already didn't have to pay $100. And then coming back from Reykjavik back to Detroit, because I was flying Premium Select to and from, I got into the Sky Club without any issue because I was basically in the first class of that aircraft. So it was just, automatic, you're in, done. So
wow.
But yeah, so I got the card without a sub, but it got me value to me for getting into the Sky Club and experiencing that. To and from. So yeah, kind of a unique reason for doing that. But it ended up being for me, an awesome experience.
Yeah. Are you thinking of using, that $150 Delta Stays credit? Have you figured out where you think you'll use that?
Oh yeah, I already did.
Did you really?
Yep. So they made the changes, right? So there's the $150 Delta Stays credit. There's the Resi credit, a couple other things as well that they made changes to with the cards, as well as the Gold, as well as the Delta Gold and the Reserve. But I have the Platinum card, and so I am going on a couple months back. I'm getting ready to go on a road trip up to South Dakota and Wyoming in a couple of weeks around Memorial Day. So my first vacation of the year, but it's going to be a road trip. I want to see Mount Rushmore. I want to see Devil's Tower in Wyoming. I want to see the Black Hills National Park and all that. And that's about a 12-hour drive away. So a little bit of driving, but on my way up there, so my best friend, his family kind of adopted me as one of their own. And they live in Omaha, which is on the way up there. And the oldest child of theirs is graduating high school on Memorial Day weekend. So I'm like, I'm on my way up there. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely going to graduation then. So I'm like, oh, crap, I need to book a room. So I'm like, well, I haven't used my Delta Stays Platinum credit yet. Okay, so logged into my Delta account. I found the hotel that I stayed at last year when I was up there for Thanksgiving, which is a really nice Marriott hotel. Really nice Marriott property.
Yeah.
And I was comparing the price between the Marriott website and the Delta Stays site. It was like a $3 difference in price. And so I found the room that I wanted. So after I booked through Delta Stays and the credit hit almost damn near immediately after I booked it, I'm getting a really nice concierge level king room at this Marriott for $27.
Damn. That's great.
So, now, the caveat to that is, of course, with using Delta Stays, I think on that card, it's through booking.com. Or is it Expedia? Maybe it's Expedia. But, you can't change their reservation. You can't, there's things you can't do.
Yeah.
You don't get the points for it. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm getting a really nice hotel for one night for $27. I don't give a crap,
Hell yeah.
I'm getting the Delta points. And I'm getting this really awesome room for really cheap. So it's just easy. It's like, and the price was it was like a $3 difference in price from the Marriott website to the Delta Stays. I'm like, well, this is a no brainer, so.
Which I'm surprised too, because it could be even more discounted. Like at least when I was going through and booking a bunch of stuff, I even booked a Marriott, oddly enough, via Delta Stays, and you can get a lot of discounts sometimes just logging into your account. Maybe 15% off to 25% off, something like that, booking through Expedia, and that is much lower than like Marriott directly or something like that. Do you know what brand you booked for Marriott?
Marriott.
It's just the Marriott.
Yeah, just Marriott. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like they're higher end property in Omaha. So it's like, I mean, they have a restaurant in there. They have a bar. They have a cook staff that makes breakfast in the mornings. Like order breakfast, like that kind of thing. It's a really nice property.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
I stayed there over Thanksgiving last year, so I'm familiar with it. I've been there before, so.
What is she doing? Oh my god!
It's Catzilla.
Yeah, she really is. It's a freaking nightmare. Found her out in the dumpster by actually a Marriott, oddly enough, and then we took her in. Unreal. Well, at least my father-in-law found her. Delta Stays works for me. Got to use that Delta Stays MR. Come on, son. Fog said
it's easy.
Oh yeah,
it's easy. I mean, and I've done a video. I've done a few videos on. Obviously, I've done a lot of videos on Delta and whatnot. But I understand that certain people are tired of credits and all that stuff, and I get it. Some people just want stuff easy. They want stuff on autopilot and just whatever. That's fine. That's totally cool. But if I was going to book a hotel, I was going to have to log into Marriott's site anyway versus Delta Stay. So you're still having to do a thing to book something. So why not take advantage of the credit through Delta Stay? Okay, you're not getting points for a night. So what? Over the great scheme of things, are those points going to make or break some future, kick butt booking down the road? Some kind of redemption? No, it's not going to. So at least for me, just saying it for me. So easy credit, and it hit like the next day. It was there and done. Just super fast. Like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah. Nikki says you pay for some of it with your annual fee. It's not free. Yeah, I don't think anybody said it was free. Yeah,
nope, didn't say it was free, man.
But I think that Delta, Delta Platinum is very, very like, even if you don't use your companion certificate, it seems like a pretty easy value add to people's wallets. But I'm still thinking about it, maybe next year or something like that.
Well, I mean, annual fee went up, right? Annual fee went to $350.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get caught in that because I didn't get the card until September of last year. So I'll have to pay the new annual fee when it comes up. I think the annual fee changes all took effect in May, I believe, for all of them. Because I know on my gold, I got my Delta Gold card clear back in February of last year. So when it renewed this year, it was still $99. So I didn't pay the first year where there was no annual fee at all. It was first year free. So, but yeah, so the new annual fee hits. But I know it's kind of a polarizing card in a way. I get it, understand, but it's not a half bad card. And with the things you can do with it, I mean, you get the Resi. I mean, I get it. $10 Resi credit a month. I get it. I understand. Luckily for me, like I said, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, right? Not everybody lives in a place where they can easily use these credits. I understand that. Yeah. It's not for everybody, but here in Kansas City, luckily, there's a lot of restaurants that are part of the Resi network, and there are places that I like to eat at. So okay, well, this is easy. I'll just go to the Resi website, book it, reserve it, and go eat there and get $10 back. So it's not a painful thing to do when you're able to do it. Number one, when it's easy to do, and it's kind of within your wheelhouse already.
For sure. I thought an interesting thing to kind of bring us a little closer to closing. He actually said here, John and Anthony, please make your predictions on what the next round of Amex changes over. Oh Lord, so overdone. Everybody made a prediction. Look, I'll just go for. I've been on the record for how many months ago? 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I immediately, when I saw the Delta changes and the Resi and the rideshare and all that stuff, I immediately thought Amex Gold, and I put it all in a video. It's all documented. I said Resi will probably replace the dining credit, but obviously nobody has complete information. But I always thought, probably just makes sense to follow suit with the Delta Platinum, maybe make it a $350 to $375 for the Amex Gold card, give you a nice $10 a month, $20 a month Resi credit, and call it a day. And then I said maybe like a nice, interesting, if we go back to our old 195 Amex Gold, however many years ago that was, I think it had like a hotel credit, or like one of them had an airline credit. So I would think it has access to the hotel collection. Why wouldn't you have like $100 hotel collection credit? Like I thought that would be interesting. So that's my only prediction for the Platinum. Anybody's guess. I have no idea why. I don't even want to put a prediction out there, to be honest. I have no idea. What do you think?
Yeah. I know everybody's kind of lockstep in their predictions, right? Everybody kind of thinks the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see it being Resi. I mean, it would make sense because of what they did with the Delta cards and whatnot. I could see it being that way, but I could also see it being, okay, it's not a Delta card. We're going to do something totally different with the Gold card. Maybe they go from, this credit being for only a couple of options to where it's a wider open, like, okay, we're going to give you this credit, but maybe it goes from being a $10 credit to a $20 credit. We're going to raise the annual fee to $350, $375, whatever. But we're going to double the size of the credit, but it's going to be for wherever you want to dine at. Like I could see that being the case because it's not a Delta card, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Resi thing. Yeah. I could see that too. I would want them to bump up the credits. Obviously, I don't mind the Uber credit. Uber credit for me is easy. I mean, if I'm not stopping at Chipotle, I'm away home from the gym, which is not out of the way or anything. I'm going to use the Uber credits to go to the airport because I don't ever park my vehicle at the airport. I will not do that. Period. I will Uber to the airport, so they'll get used that way. One or the other. So but if they do raise the annual fee, I would want them to widen and increase the food credit, but also I would want them to kind of do the same thing you were mentioning, Anthony, like give us a hotel credit. Like, okay, FHR, we get, FHR is part of the benefit there. Give us a credit for it. Or add another multiplier of some sort. Make it either give us a credit for hotel or maybe give us a gas multiplier or something. Since you are billing it as a travel card, to me it's a food card, but it's but if you are billing it, like either you give us either a flight or a hotel credit, or you give us another earning category. But I know it's kind of all over the place there, but I kind of see one of those 2 or 3 scenarios playing out.
Yeah. It's I also just wanted to bring up Oakland. Shout out to John just for being a solid dude.
Oh man, thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
I appreciate you, man, as well, of course. I also was laughing as you were talking, not because of what you were saying, because I read for a quick second. Film. Amex launches a Resi card, 10% back on Resi, $3,650 annual fee, $10 a day Resi credit. That is how friggin' funny.
That'd be hilarious, actually, if that happened.
I love the idea of that. That is the. I love the idea of that so much for some reason. It's the funniest freaking thing. Just every day, just like I don't know. Every day going out to a Resi restaurant, I gotta use my credit or else it's not worth it.
Hey, what's up, man?
But once again, thank you, Oakland. And then Keith, so Amex is going to want me to pay $350 for a card that earns only slightly better than a free or a 95 annual fee card. I mean, that's kind of why I'm like pivoting to the ink train, and we'll see what happens with that. I might just end up closing the goal too, but we'll see. But
also too, I'm also in the Amex ecosystem for reasons, right? So, like I said, I'm a Delta fanboy. There's only a Sky Club here, and they're building. The city of Kansas City is actually putting in another lounge at the airport. I think I talked to Matt Clausen about it. I think he actually put a blurb in one of his tidbits here a few weeks ago. But I think Escape Lounges is putting a lounge in there at the airport here. So, nice. Yeah, so. I mean, but again, that's also available through my Amex Platinum card. So it's like, because I'm so tied into Delta, it's like Amex is the ecosystem. It's the one that makes the most sense. So
yeah,
but and also too, they have the most transfer partners too. So there's more options there if I want to look at different places to move points to, whether it's Flying Blue or Virgin or some of the other airlines they have as well. They're partners with Sky Teams, because it's not just Delta, it's Sky Team, right? I mean, Flying Blue is so valuable to me now. Obviously, Virgin, there's some really good value there with Virgin too. So, it just makes sense. I think you titled the video or the stream, "What Works for Me." And this is this is what works for me.
Yeah.
So
it's even more interesting as I go through. And that makes, as I make different types of videos, like one I did recently on Amex Platinum and Gold versus like Delta Reserve and Delta Platinum. And I don't know, upon researching a little bit for that, because I just thought it was an interesting idea, I realized like a lot of these cards, no matter what you choose, will have something that, well, obviously it's going to be useful to you or not. But then there's also a lot of overlap between like a lot of different cards. You can kind of have everything. Like, for example, if a lot of people just mentioned the Amex Platinum card, you have the concierge, and that gives you a lot of value. And it has given me a lot of value. I made videos on it. But I didn't even realize that, the Hilton Aspire card and the Delta Reserve card also have concierge. I didn't realize they had access to the same thing. It's probably the same thing. If I want access to Centurion Lounge and Delta Sky Lounges and Escape Lounges, I actually don't need the Platinum card for that. I actually could just get a Delta Reserve, and I also have access to those three. And there's another one too, which in all my travels, I've loved Escape Lounges, Delta Lounges, and Centurion Lounges. So it's like, you can have all of these different things all in one. Even like, maybe I have an Amex Platinum card because I love FHR. I love the FHR program.
Yep.
But if I didn't have a Platinum card, I could technically use some of these other sites like Virtuoso and Impresario or Stars, and there's one more. All these different programs that also Privé, they give you like benefits to FHR as well without the annual fee. So I don't know, the more I get into this, the more research I'm like, you can get bits and pieces of everything. So it's like you eventually come up with such a unique system that I could get elsewhere, but maybe I like it in this because maybe I like the Amex ecosystem, an all-in-one, or what have you. So,
Yeah. And it's like if our situations were different, maybe if I lived in a place where, or if I was going to be flying through a place where there's a Capital One, well, let's rule Capital One out because they don't want me. If I lived in New York, like the Sapphire Reserve would make a lot of sense, right? Because you have the Sapphire lounges there. So if I lived someplace, or if I was going to be flying through someplace where it made sense to be entrenched into a different ecosystem, I would definitely take a look at that for sure. It would be dumb not to do that. But because I live in Kansas City, because there's only a Sky Club, well, there's going to be an escape lounge too. But again, the Platinum gets me access to that too as well.
Yeah.
And I'm flying through airports where there's Delta lounges because I'm flying Delta, obviously. So it makes sense to be in this ecosystem. So, and I think, well, it's not. I think I know. I have the math. I've gotten the most points from Amex than I have any other ecosystem. So,
interesting.
By a long shot. So
yeah. And I will say, you actually reminded me for some reason that I thought was funny, like living in New York and using different perks or Sapphire Reserve. I see some people making fun of Jake Mercure on the lift bikes. Luke, I see you making fun, but I have I'll put it in a video at some point. I was dying laughing when I was in DC. I saw the lift bikes, and my immediate thought was Luke and Jake, and I'm like, oh my god, those are the bikes. So what I did was, since I had the Lyft app, because we were, you lift around, whatever, I said, let me actually try one of these out. And then eventually, or actually, you know what happened? CJ tried it. He was flying around. I said, that seems pretty fun. So I went on not the bike, the scooters. It was a Lyft scooter, not the bike. So I saw the Lyft scooter, and I said, I'm going to try it out. So I got the scooter. And it was the most fun. It was the most fun thing. And I literally turned the cat, because I did a video of like literally scooting up to the Waldorf Astoria, which I thought was hilarious. And then I turned the camera on. I said, Jake, you might have something here, okay? If I lived in DC, I'd be using those bikes, because they have these little lanes that let you go flying for miles all on the scooters. And I'm like, this is really fun. It was like kind of raining out, and then we were just flying past people. I was like, this is cool.
So, like in Iceland or in Reykjavik, I should say Reykjavik, they have scooters are big there, and there's like a couple of different companies that compete with each other. Yeah. But they have all throughout the city of Reykjavik, they have dedicated scooter lanes. It's for scooters, bikes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my Sapphire Preferred, I got 2x on it for my scooter usages. Yep. Now, I'm going to try to get video, but you're right. It's super fun. They're like, it takes a bit to get used to.
Yeah.
But once you get the hang of it, you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. You just have to watch out for big rocks.
Right.
You don't break with the front.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But they're super fun though. Yeah. They're quick too. They're fast, man. You can get going.
Oh yeah.
At least these ones there were pretty quick. So.
Yeah, those Lyft ones, I think they were going like 10 miles an hour.
Maybe it just looks fast because it's small.
You just feel it. You feel the wind hitting you. Like I was just like giddy laughing, because then I got on one, CJ got on one, Calvi got on. So all three of us, the trifecta, we were just flying down DC. It was so freaking stupid and funny. I loved it. I was like, if I lived in DC, I probably would be scooting around too. So I'll defend Jake on that one.
It's fun. It's like a different mode of transportation, right? It's like, okay, I can enjoy getting someplace a different way besides a car,
Yeah.
And of course, it'd suck trying to do that in 10-degree weather. Probably wouldn't do that, but but yeah, spring, summer, fall. Why not? If it makes sense, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was also surprised, like you said, there's like dedicated light bike lanes. I was surprised how efficient the city it was. I didn't think it would be, but it was incredibly efficient for how fast you could make ground on those scooters. I was like, it was only like $10. I think it was like $10, and I think I did the Lyft Pink because it was free for a month, so I got like severely discounted or something. It was cool. I didn't do the bikes though. I don't know how the bikes work.
Yeah, I did do bikes there, but I did the scooters, city bus a couple of times. A couple of days it was rainy there, so getting the venue to get to the fan fest was a little far away, but so it made more sense to ride the bus. But
yeah,
like all that coding is 2X transit, so super easy.
For sure. Philmo says, I'm way too handsome for a scooter. Yeah, you really are. You're too big. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. You're too big, too tall.
I guess my handsome is just right then for a scooter.
Just right. Yeah, just right. Just right. Oh God, Jesus. F those city bikers there has it. I do agree that though, sometimes there's some issues. Like New York is huge.
Does
huge
City Bike have bikes?
I don't know. I figured he just meant like city with a Y. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong though.
Like I learned something new today.
Right. The Prince of Iceland should have car service. Yeah, I agree. Agreed. Yeah. Which I'll leave that there. Well, this was a lot of fun, man. This is a lot of fun.
Man. This was awesome.
Is there that was everything I kind of wanted to go into. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up or talk about at all?
I'm trying to think here.
Or anybody in the chat, of course, any questions or topics or something.
I guess my biggest thing is, if I had any parting words, I guess it would be, and I said it a couple times before too, though, but we're all in this game. We're kind of in it together, though, right? Especially the Discord. The Discord's, a pretty good community. It's a pretty tight community. I think we all learn from each other. We all have differences of opinions. Some of us are stronger about our opinions than others. That's totally fine. But it's for me, it's super cool. And whether I agree or disagree with what someone's doing, I just like hearing what people do. Like what's your setup and why. Tell me why. I want to learn. I want to learn from you. I want to learn I want to learn about some really kick butt redemption someone did that I haven't even thought about doing yet. Because I'm still so new to the game, in my mind. And, just it's really cool learning and seeing what works for certain people and what doesn't work, why we're fans of what we're fans of and why someone else is a fan of a different ecosystem, why that works for them. And it's super cool and really neat to just learn. And, I really enjoyed it a lot. So it's like everybody being open-minded to listening to other people, and just have good conversations about everything. So
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. I love that. I love that as parting wisdom, and I think it's well needed, especially as we go through maybe some hard times in some communities going forward as the community grows and get different opinions.
Yeah.
It's definitely needed, to be open with everybody.
Did Xavier live in Omaha?
You know what? I think I did actually see him earlier. I think he actually lives in Omaha. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And he did it. Thanks, guys. Xavier again, man. You were too freaking hot today, Xavier. I mean, not like not attracted or anything, but I don't know what you look like. But you're coming. It's way too hot today. It's crazy. But
maybe you are. But,
you never know, man. But thank you, Xavier, again.
This is a super cool, dude.
Oh, yes. I do know city bikes. Yes, that's right. Okay, I am familiar. Yeah, I remember seeing them on the side and everything like that. Can't believe I forgot that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, love this game.
Are those in New York or?
I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I think I remember seeing them. Yeah, like in New York, like you said, in New York.
Interesting.
It's a faint memory now, but I think I know what you're talking about.
See, I learned something else new from Keith today. Didn't know that.
I guess he said powered by Lyft. Huh. Interesting. Love this game. Love this community. Appreciate you, Phil. Let me go through everybody because this was crazy today. You guys, I expressed it also on and off camera. Joe Barreto, appreciate you, man. He's got a live stream on just Stan the Man, your papa. So appreciate you with the 5 spot. Woodsy coming in really hot, and then he always does that to me. He dines and dashes, except I get the benefit. Ridiculous. Well, thank you, Woodsy. Xavier once, Xavier twice, Xavier 3. Oh, Xavier 4 times. Are you crazy? What are you doing?
Xavier's crazy, man.
Keep your money, man. We're just having fun. I really appreciate it though. Like that's insane. Oh, man. Fog,
very generous, man.
Yeah, Fog.
Fog too. Yep.
Fog. I mean,
Bobby.
Sorry, Bobby in Oakland. Thank you guys so much for all of that.
Very kind words. Yeah. No, this was I appreciate you inviting me, Anthony. This was like super awesome. Getting to talk to you and kind of digging deeper into things and answering people's questions and seeing comments and everything, and just interacting in that way a little bit too. This was really fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do this again when whenever you come back from your next trip or something. I think that would be cool. We'll get some more insights and different types of things, So
which trip? There's a lot of trips this year, so
I'm really excited after you finish Japan and the next Iceland one.
Oh, yeah. Iceland I'll be back from Iceland at the beginning of November, so that's about when I'm. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the first one's in a couple of weeks where I'm going to South Dakota and Wyoming, so road tripping.
Hell yeah, that'll be fun. And I'll say thank you to everyone who's here.
From Iceland, yep.
Fog, Keith, Phil. I'd like to always make sure.
I might do live from Iceland. Who knows?
Hey, there you go. That would be fun. Xavier, of course. I think I just said Fog earlier. QC man and everybody else. I know Richie was earlier. Everybody else that I missed. Thank you all so much for being here. Key, of course, for being here every single week.
Michael.
Appreciate you guys.
Michael.
And then John, once again, thank you for being here, man.
Well, thank you for having me, dude. This was awesome.
Thank you, sir. All right, everyone, enjoy, have fun, be safe. I'm probably gonna go to the pool now. So
nice.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the gym now. So
hell yeah, there you go. All right, take care, everybody.
Take care.